Who's the real story?
Come on, ask it.
What about the truth?
The illusion of truth.
Well, he did kill him, right?
No, he didn't.
Don't tell me you think he didn't do it.
So how you gonna get him off?
I don't know.
What do you think he's up to?
I honestly don't know.
I saw the tape. I know what he did to you.
Do you know what I would do if someone did that to me? I would stab him 78 times.
It's a mistake to stick your thumb in the eyes of the most powerful people in this city.
You're worse than the thugs you represent.
Objection, Your Honor.
Next thing you know, he'll be objecting if we want to bring in the murder weapon.
Well, now the chief brings it up.
You're on dangerous ground here.
Yep.
If you print any of this, I'll sue your ass.
Primal Fear.
This is a cover story, right?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers, and today we have a brand new guest.
Hi, I'm Asa. Asa.
Asa. This shouldn't have been your first podcast, Asa. You were
I know.
supposed to do. I think you were supposed.
Challenges.
Wait, you're supposed to do Don't Worry,
And
Darling as
others.
well.
I think maybe Rian just didn't invite me. She was like, I'm going to my room now in Kentucky for
Well, she didn't.
context.
She didn't. Well, she invited you to challenges without asking me. Thankfully, I like you, so it wasn't an issue. But it was. I
Well,
was just like-
thanks. Yeah.
she just Rian didn't
And
say
then I didn't
anything
come anyway, so it didn't matter.
in the end, just like art.
So have you read the screenplay?
Oh, don't get me started. I still love challenges. This is a terrible way to start a Primal Fear podcast. I still love
Yeah.
challenges, but as time goes by and the more times I watch the final scene, they are hitting that ball far too hard and far too close to each other for that to be anywhere near. Anyway, I do a fun. I say fun thing. We do a fun thing called
Okay.
the 3-pick series because
Yes.
infamously, from a very early stage, it has come to my attention that I have been curating this podcast that I have given 5 years of my life to. God forbid I choose the movies that we do.
Well, everyone's doing movies that you like anyway.
Well, this is the roundabout, yes. So then and again, I will allow what I call the 3-pick series.
Hmm.
Now, the 3 picks normally consist of a movie that is a cross, which I do love and would talk about and
Oh,
make a
okay.
podcast anyway.
Right.
A one that I don't particularly like, and then one that is a real oddball choice. Looking at yours,
We'll
I
just
don't-
pick films that we both like.
well, this is the thing. I haven't seen. Well, we'll talk about the other ones when we come to them. We have started off with an all-timer for me.
This is the best one of my 3 picks. Not like that people shouldn't
unequivocally.
listen to the others, but it is.
Don't worry, they won't listen to this one.
Not to the 5 people.
We've recently made a
Hi,
comedy.
Rian.
Harry, we've recently made a comedy long film, which features Asa in a character of a podcast individual.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've laughed as much as your joke referencing.
Which you haven't put in my Jill joke.
No, Jill's in a different part. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Me and Rian were fuming.
No, don't. Ye have little faith in your editor. The reference to low. I also re-listened. This is another thing. Most of the listenership is me re-listening because I was in the middle of the ocean missing my friends. And if anything, it's a coping mechanism. And I was re-listening to the Boogie Nights pod I did with David, where I start co-opting the speech of Dirk Diggler when he's talking about how to make porn films better. And he's like, we can be better. We can make these podcasts better. And I feel like we're doing that today because we are
That's why I'm
finally,
here.
we're bringing in new blood. The 3 picks is also a fraught series, Asa, because the 3 picks are the only series that have ever been abandoned. One of them, I recorded 2 episodes with a 4-letter male who you definitely know, and they're the only unreleased ones. Because I turned on this, I thought,
As a thinker.
and then in a complete polar up. The woman who I side with in this thing with the 4-letter mail recorded one podcast which was great, and we haven't been able
haven't
to
got round.
we haven't done the other two, and the other two are great. Father of the Bride, what a great movie. I have great faith in you, Asa, as an individual.
I'm a very organised person. We'll have done them. It's fine. We've organised this.
We have. Now, when you talk about your organisation skills, and you talk, right, let's start here. You're an actor.
It's not about the film. It's about me.
It's about scheduling. It's an intervention. I'm going to
Okay.
put Rian into the
Scheduling
chat
too
now.
much.
I have found that this is a common cross section, and elaborate if you wish. You are also an actor. I have found that a lot of actors like lawyer movies, lawyer parts, and have the fake conception, or rather delusion in their head that they would be a good lawyer.
I do think I'd be a good lawyer.
I also think
I think I'm a fantastic lawyer. I'm really organised. I'm okay at public speaking.
Yeah.
I can get on with most people, like, enough. So I could get on with the people I'm representing. Cognitive dissonance.
We once did a this is before I knew you, actually. This was before COVID. And oh no, so I would have known.
No, I did know you before COVID. Because I told you this was my favourite film. You forgot. And then I spoke to you again like 3 years later. It was like, this is my favourite film. And you're like, what?
Was that at the party where something happened?
I don't know.
That sounds very vague.
I told you, yes, that's really dodgy.
Not between us two. I just don't want to reveal your proclivities. I will talk to on these podcasts about my proclivities till I'm blue in the face, but I won't drop in any of yours.
I'm still not sure what party. A party pre-COVID.
The Pimps and Hoes party pre-COVID.
Where I nearly got mono.
You did get mono.
I don't mind.
I
didn't. I never came down with it.
Oh,
and I actually cut off the distribution because I was very good.
Very good. Was that not when you told me that you love Primal Fear?
No, I told you in the flat that you used to share with people in my ear. With like Lucia and...
Oh, my ex, yes.
Yeah. Other people, I don't remember who it was.
Maybe she wanted to be on a podcast. I was like, and I did think it would last in the moment. But I've been very careful with the women in my life. Let's not forget, this is the thing, I have a curse. Will's ex Becky was on a series of podcasts through COVID, and the last podcast that Becky recorded with us was 500 Days of Summer, and you can see her and Will like talking vaguely about themselves. It's the best 2 hours you could ever watch. And then I also did Dirty David and Rian because they were both on 45 Years. Oh, everybody on the podcast knows. The 4 people who are listening. Oh, we've lost. The 4
people are listening. Are those 2 people?
Which is a movie about a couple going through major issues. So don't ever, if ever invite you and your partner on to talk about a marriage movie or a divorce movie, don't accept.
Say no. It's
don't
fine.
accept. Primal Fear.
Yes.
Now, did you come to Primal Fear knowing the twist or not knowing the twist?
Okay, so I knew that this twist existed, but I thought it was a different film.
Right.
So my mum told me there was a film about a psychologist who is treating someone and thinks they've got a multiple personality disorder, and then it turns out they don't. But I'm watching this film about a lawyer. I'm
sorry. So your mum's takeaway is that Frances McDormand is the lead character.
My mum's like, yeah, I want a bit of Frances McDormand. She's the main character here. And fair enough, she's a fantastic actress.
Hey, do you know what I can do with this thing?
Do you know what I can do with this thing?
Anyway,
this
is how I know we're on the same wavelength.
Like,
this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Believe me. No, my mum would watch it like when it came out and then hadn't seen it for years. and then was telling me about it. And so I was doing GCSE drama, and I was doing it about mental health, obviously. And I was like, I'm gonna play a character with multiple personality disorder. Let me find a film for inspiration. And so I'm watching this film, and I think at some point during watching it, I did probably figure out, oh, this is probably that film. But I was still like, so I don't feel like I have I've never watched it and been like, wow.
This is what I'm alluding to, because I also
I
came to it as, oh, my mum and dad said, oh, it's that great movie with the twist. And then they kind of ruined it. There was like,
and I
there
think
never
if you
was
know
an
there's
Aaron.
a twist, you would get, there never was an Aaron.
Yeah.
Counselor.
So this is the thing. In the great lineage of multiple personality movies, there are like two that work for me. Fight Club and then Fight Club, both Edward Norton, funnily enough.
Edward Norton, he's found his niche, and
he's rocking and rolling.
Good for
Edward
him.
Norton, Fight Club and Primal Fear. Largely because Primal Fear kind of like rubs in the face the notion of multiple personality. Because obviously neither of us are psychologists, and there are people who suffer from it.
Just a disclaimer.
But movies make it seem like every fifth person, suffers from it. And it's really clean cut that they've got 5 exact different personalities.
And one's a child, and one's a woman.
I'm Patricia. And it's like,
okay, James McAvoy.
Exactly. It's like, what's on my spotlight? What can I show on? But this movie kind of rubs in the face and is like, no, actually, the idea of
this is actually, yeah.
Primal Fear is a deep favorite movie of mine. Now, I always used to recommend Primal Fear as a great movie when people are like, oh, I love thrillers, oh, I love movies with twists. And I always used to say, have you ever watched Primal Fear?
Yeah.
It's been on Netflix, I think, now for the past 5 years, and I've been meeting a lot of people who have already seen Primal Fear. And I'm not going to get on any sort of high horse. I'm a different person. I've said I made this declaration on the Saltburn pod, and that I'm a different person. It's a great thing that people are watching Primal Fear. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Sure.
And I'm not on my high horse in any way, shape, or form. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Okay.
I love Richard Gere.
Me too. Yeah.
I love Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I love Laura Linney.
I love Laura Linney. No, she is so sexy in this film.
So there are two when it comes to the world of females on screen. So what a terrible way for me to phrase this. There are 2 types I love.
There are 2 types of women on the screen.
Women I'm like incredibly attracted to, and then brilliant character actresses. And Laura Linney ticks both from a very early age.
She's in the Venn diagram.
I knew I loved Laura Linney. Like, I don't know. I think Laura Linney might be my first sort of like, I guess you'd call it camp. But like when Laura Linney in Truman Show turns around and goes, why don't you try this new Moco Coco drink? Something in my brain chemistry clicked and went, that's.
I want that drink.
I want that is the sort of
I want all of this.
I would die for.
Yeah, valid.
And then paired that with Janet Venable.
Jane. Is it not Jane?
No, it's Janet. Or is it Jane?
I'm sure it's Jane. Jane Venable. No,
it's Janet.
Not Janet.
It is. It's Janet Venable. It is Janet Venable.
They don't really say her first name, though. And I'm sure they call her Jane. Is it really Janet?
Maybe Marty, the one man who will truly love her and forgive her. Maybe he calls her Jane. So I did read the book. Now it's largely...
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you read the book?
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful, Ace.
I thought that's why we were reading it. I told you, I'm very organised.
I'm not this used to people doing as much work as me.
No, I read the book. It was fine.
It was fine. I think the film is better.
I think the film's a lot better.
It's just the book does not need to be 600 pages.
No, why is it so long?
And has a lot of stuff that they did actually shoot. Like they did shoot all the stuff about going to Aaron's hometown. and the
Yeah.
school teacher,
Good time.
except they made it Marty going, and it wasn't the Marty's assistant who sleeps with the pedophile teacher. A bizarre turn of events in the book.
I love, like, what's his name? Tom Goodman?
Tommy, yeah,
Tommy.
Andre
I love
Brower, yeah.
him. We'll get onto that, but I think he's so good in this.
Shit, Marty,
I
oh
watched
my
it with
God.
Rian the other day. She was like, "Oh my God, it's going on."
You're telling me that Rian watched Primal Fear and she hasn't messaged?
I think no. She said she's waiting for us to do the podcast.
She's going to have to wait a long time. Schedule is a blooming thing. Did Rian guess the twist?
No, not until it was happening. Rian was all over the place though. Like she was like, "Oh, I was like, we'd watched it for like 20 minutes," and she was like, "Oh, I thought it was going to be like about a Catholic priest who like touched him," and I was like, "God, you see a priest and you just assume that like
just
there's that involved," and then it happened. She looked at me. I was like.
The exact same thing happened to me and Rian watched The American President, and she was like, "Is this going to end with an assassination?" And I didn't want to say no, so I was like, oh, "You've guessed it, haven't you?"
Yeah.
Yes. Why don't you help him, Linda? Anyway, right. So things that are good about the book. Marty is still a scumbag. Now, this is kind of the crux of the film. And when Richard Gere is at his best, I'm not a Pretty Woman person, to be honest.
I like it. It's not like in my top films. It's fine.
I love Richard Gere so very, very much. And I think that Marty Vale is one of our all-time screen lawyers. He is he is such a scumbag.
No, he's awful. Like his opening speech.
And the whole thing is built on this wonderful arc of, oh, no, he's becoming a good person.
Yeah, because he cares about this kid.
He cares about young Aaron. And he's finally met the person who is possibly more duplicitous and more. It was like a great dance. I thought Marty. And then he's just stood there winded. And now we'll talk about this later with facts and all that sort of thing. But the studio wanted to change the ending so desperately, of like have him have a wire or have him like, get him back. And Richard Gere was fervent that, no, that's the film. You need to have me winded on the side of the street. That's the ending. That's the shock. That's the kicker. Yeah. And it is such a nihilistic ending and such a bleak. I have some questions about that arise sort of on multiple watches after you're no longer winded by the ending. It was a rough script to begin with. It was very, very messy, apparently. That's why Leo dropped out at a very early stage until they brought in.
Which I'm glad happened.
Are you not a Leo person?
No, I do. No, he's a good actor. I'm not knocking his skills. I just don't think at that stage in his career that he could have done that.
Yes, I am a person who thinks that
I think he could do it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a very different role, but I'm not sure Titanic Leo is pulling that fast one.
Excuse me. Leave Jack Dawson alone. I got the air in my lungs and a few sheets of paper, I figure life is a gift.
He couldn't do the stutter. It wouldn't have worked.
Well, this is my big thing, is that I think he's not actually that great in Gilbert Grape. I know it's rude. I know it's like maybe as time passes, people are changing their opinions. But like that was always acclaimed as, oh wow, it's a star-making performance, and I think he's just kind of okay in it. And I think it is a borderline offensive portrayal in a way that I think.
Yeah, no, it probably is.
Well, no, I don't. Well, yeah, but everything's offensive in 2020.
I don't think. Yeah,
no, exactly. I sound like Joe Rogan.
I think everything was offensive.
Everything's offensive.
PC got mad.
But I think when you watch Rain Man again, I actually think Dustin Hoffman's doing a lot of subtlety there. Or Brad Dourif or Danny DeVito in Cuckoo's Nest. I think there's a lot of subtlety there, which I think Gilbert Grape it's lacking. Or
it's not do the siren.
Yeah. Over 2,100 actors auditioned, and
Insane, no? Like, that's
well, yeah.
crazy.
They say they kind of make it quite clean cut on the special features and say Norton was the only one who stood it. And I was like, okay, so
Yeah,
2,100 people have auditioned.
And everyone else was shit. And we all know that all these like amazing actors
And Edward
who are
Norton
now
just
like
ended up-
amazing actors.
And he went,
I think he didn't. He come in and like flip the table or something.
This is it. It
And
gets
they were like,
apocryphal.
"Wow."
It gets apocryphal, you know. It's like Barbara putting the gum under her chair, and
Yeah.
no gum there, and all that shit.
Yeah.
I believe that Edward Norton had this incredible quote. He was doing a lot of podcasts, and he talked about how my audition tape for Primal Fear got out, and it was going around all the studios and got me a lot of other jobs. It was kind of like the Nirvana demo tape. Imagine this is where the impression that Edward Norton's a bit of a dick. I don't think that's it. He's infamously difficult to work with. But I like Ed Norton. I've always liked Ed Norton.
I think he's a great actor, and
He is.
I don't need to be friends with him.
True.
And he's not like a terrible person. Like that.
No, he's just annoying.
That philosophy doesn't apply to like awful people.
Well, this is the thing. After like Me Too, we have and before Me Too, I guess, but like we have so
you know
many
what, he's
actual.
A bit of a douche, like.
Yeah, we have so many actual awful people that we can get over. Him trying to rewrite Incredible Hulk on the stats.
Yeah.
We open with best 10-minute stretch.
Yeah.
I don't really have one until sort of heading into court and the dueling opening statements. And then I don't have another one until the reveal of the tape, back to back with the.
That's mine.
Yeah, into the reveal of Roy.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And that sort of that being so back to back. You're telling me the truth. You're telling me the truth. And then that's motive. Help him, Linda.
Again,
Help
I
him.
love him.
Then leading to obviously back to back best 20-minute stretch, I guess, back to back 10-minute stretches of Aaron on the stand, and then obviously the final scene. And it
yeah, this isn't good for the audio, but this is my impression of Aaron on the stand.
This is my impression of
the
Richard
eyes.
Gere. This is my impression of Richard Gere in a very, very busy courtroom where Alfred Woodard is like less than a meter away. Come on, you son of a bitch! Why don't you get angry? Okay, Alfred Woodard's right there. She's gonna hear. Yeah. I'm interested, Martin. But
she's like, I want to see where this goes.
Kid's gonna flip. Alfred Woodard is more of.
I mean, Roy.
For so much of the film, Alfred Woodard has the Michael Jackson popcorn thriller. Yeah. Like even when he is so clearly.
I will allow you to proceed with this line of questioning if you are very careful.
When he's trying to like clearly pin Shaughnessy and John Mahoney, and she's like, "Where's this going?" And he comes and starts talking about the Sixth Amendment. He's like, anybody could have killed Bishop Roachman. I've got to answer.
It's not my. But I love when he's like, is it possible there could have been a third person in that room? That is fine.
I love John Mahoney so very, very. Are you a Frasier person?
No.
So, do you have any relationship with John Mahoney, the guy who plays Shaughnessy, beyond Primal?
Is he the? What else is he in? Let me look him up.
Say Anything.
I feel like I do know who he is. I definitely recognise him, but I wouldn't say I was like.
He's got that guy.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Aaron on the stand in that final scene.
Yeah.
It's the reason.
I'd just like to compile all of his scenes into my 10-minute stretch.
So infamously, right? She's not on the pod right now to defend herself, but I've been told that you have similar taste. Apart from the violent nature, does Aaron /Roy fall into yours and Rhian's taste of what I call meat little white boys.
Oh, of course. We were watching it and Mum was like, I can see why you like this film. And obviously that's not the only reason I like this film. His little floppy hair.
I can fix him, but it's
I
Aaron.
can fix him. I
But
can fix him, but he's pretending to have a multiple personality disorder and he's a serial killer.
Is he a serial killer, or did he just kill 2 people?
Yeah, no, I think actually there was no need for him to have killed the girlfriend.
Yeah,
This
not at
doesn't
all.
happen
Don't
in the
worry.
book.
Don't worry, I'm getting to it in change. Don't worry. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
really
okay.
underbaked. Do you have any other nominations for 10-minute stretch?
No, I'm going with reveal, the main reveal of Roy
Yeah.
into
And it
and the
just
courtroom. Yeah.
still works so very much after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with once you start pointing holes into it, which we will do later. But
Yeah.
and again, one of the big holes they get rid of because they get rid of the scenes of him in his hometown and that investigation. And again, yeah, Tommy just sleeping with this pedophile teacher.
Hilarious.
Another thing. Martin Vale obviously has in the film has a past relationship with the wonderful Janet Venable. However, in the book, he's had a past relationship with every single woman on earth.
Every woman that you meet is done that, has been there.
And it has very much, pulpy 80s, 90s male writer syndrome of,
Yeah.
and she came
I like
5 times.
And there was his assistant, who obviously he'd fucked.
Yeah. And it was the best sex of her life, but we can't do this.
She's the sexiest woman ever alive.
The wonderful Moira Tierney of Liar Liar. She's Jim Carrey's ex. And did you watch The Iron Claw?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what, it's her, isn't it?
That's the mother, yeah. No,
She's the mum. She was good in that, actually. I really like The Iron Claw.
What do you mean, actually? I liked The Iron Claw as well. I think a lot of people like The Iron Claw.
No, I'm not saying actually to you. I'm saying it to myself, like thinking back, oh yeah, that was good.
No, she was very, very good. Yeah, okay. Tom's Riddler's specific favourite parts before we take our first break. Normally I plough through, but I'm going to let you go first. Ace's favourite part, weirdly specific favourite parts of the film.
My favourite weirdly specific parts of the film. This isn't including my favourite line, is it?
No, unless the line is kind of less than 5 words.
Yeah, okay, we'll save that then. Weirdly specific favourite part. No, you should go first, actually.
I'll go.
This wasn't on your list that you sent me.
Was it not? It says no.
I'm gonna think of some.
It says Tom's Riddler specific, and then it says guests fave.
Oh, I thought this was your weirdly specific question.
I'm sorry, Rian's a bad friend. She didn't take you through how the show works.
Okay, that's fine. Because I know it very well, I will think of some.
That's fine. Go. Truth. How do you mean? When he's at the sink with his tuxedo, brilliant. Aaron in the choir, just very subtle, very good. I don't know whether it's line or wherever it is, but the bishop doing stand-up. I haven't seen this many lawyers and politicians since this morning. Since confession this morning. It's like, Bishop Rushman, you son of a gun.
You naughty guy.
An image that has stuck with me since early childhood. Obviously, this falls into the lineage of movies I shouldn't have watched this young. The fingers.
Yes, yeah. I knew what you were going to say. Very good.
I love Martin leaving the bar after his first conversation with Joey Pinero. Hey, that track you like is the 4th track. Giving him a full album. I love Norton running through the woods, panting like Aaron. He's a really underrated actor, is Roy / Aaron. He even pants like Aaron. He's just waiting for it. It's great. And then does the whole, meets him for the first time, takes him through everything. Okay, important. Suit size. What are you, about a 38?
Suit size. He's like, oh, I don't know. Jeez.
That later when he's getting ready for the set. That's the look. Don't smile. Don't smile.
Don't smile. Don't smile.
I love how nonchalant and no bullshit Alfred Woodard is. Is everybody? Please sit down. Is everybody here?
Yeah, this is funny here.
Um, same scene when Tommy's going to investigate his old house. Do you know I'm his uncle? and
Yeah.
and again another visceral moment of the earring being pulled out.
Oh, I think that's worse than the fingers.
It's terrible. Janet's face after the when Marty's like, next thing you know, he's going to ask to not put the weapon into trial or whatever. And he's like, well, now that you mention it,
now that you mention it,
it's like a full blown meme. When again, deep in the heart of this dark legal thriller about pedophilia and abuse and psychopathy is the most delightful rom-com of our generation.
Yeah.
Marty. Let me take you. And
not now. Now it's not the time.
Excuse me, Mr. Vale, could you sign this for me?
Yeah.
I love Janet. Rian's not here, but I'm presuming that Rian didn't love the relationship of the great Marty and Janet Venable.
Yeah, no, she did not.
Exactly.
Why would you pick this moment? What a stupid.
This is why she has no, this is terrible opinions. I don't know where that sentence is.
I don't know where that's going.
But it was just like, what a great relationship. It's beautiful. I love the old woman with a grey beehive in the court audience when the idea of Bishop Rushman being two-faced comes up, and she goes, "Oh,
I like that there's nuns there."
Oh, well, they're there to celebrate.
They would be there.
You know when the nuns disappear? We're going to put this tape into. I love in the reveal of Roy. So your name's Roy? Oh yeah, you're Marty.
Yeah, it's rude of me.
Again, my dream woman, Janet Venable, just chugging a liter of Coke in her apartment. I love Shaughnessy. You should know him. You're bawling it, for Christ's sake. I love the term bawling.
Yeah.
Again, Janet in the trial. A porno tape. This porno movie.
Yeah. No, I've got a moment, which is like, have you ever been to my apartment? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And then obviously the great reveal of Roy in the courtroom. Where the hell do you think you're going? I said, I was talking to you, bitch. And then that Janet
her face.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh no.
The turn.
And then obviously, I said obviously Janet and Marty's final hug, the slow clap, and the final shot, Marty just being absolutely winded. Marty. Any weirdly specific favorite parts, Hazel?
Yes, no. I like when he tells her not to use the word heinous in court, and she's like, no, I'm going to use that anyway. Clearly shows the heinous nature.
This exactly. Do you like Chicago?
The place?
No, the musical.
The musical. Oh yes.
Yeah. The place. With
I do like Chicago. I love Chicago.
With Richard Gere, where he basically plays Marty Vale again. And they have this exact oh yeah, when he's doing the tap dance.
Yeah.
And he's used basically the exact same interchange, but wouldn't you say that's a little bit erroneous?
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yes, fan of that. Fan of. I mean, I like Frances McDormand. I like when she's like, which bit is it? When she's talking about, she's like, in fact, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going in and examining this psychopath.
Yeah. I've always said this, and it's like, obviously, as a struggling actor, I want to be in any small role I can. But also, as a movie watcher, cast Al Pacino as the taxi driver. I don't give a shit. Cast Billy movie. Obviously, this is before Frances McDormand becomes a huge actress. It's the same year as Fargo.
I didn't realize it was her until I watched it the other day.
I've got 2 words for you: inclusivity rider. the wonderful Frances McDormand.
Yes.
Is that in my favourite John Mulaney joke canon? The Independent Spirit Awards, where he says, "Hey, I think a nice way to die would be to jump in the line in front of Frances McDormand and say, 'Hey, lady, relax.'"
Yeah.
And she does crack a smile. Favorite building or set? This is because Will has an architecture degree. Will, the Leggetter of Carruthers, Leggetter Whoever, who is no longer well, he is in the podcast.
Who's
Obviously, this is a film of just normal sets, but I do love the red hue on the cell, and it just makes everything look a little bit different from your standard. Standard cells. What else to touch on? We've got a minute 14. We can do this. Soundtrack corner. Now, I always thought that the was part of James Newton Howard's score, but it's not. It's actually its own track. Canco de Mar by Dulce Montes.
Oh,
great song.
I mean, it's good. I really like it. I also like the choir voices singing when the bishop's being murdered. That's fun.
Do you get it?
Yeah. You get it because he's religious.
Because he's a choir.
I don't know if anyone would have picked up on this, but they play church music.
This is like in IMDb trivia. This is the sort of shift I have to sift through, where it's like, in that scene, you can see, because of his fingers being cut off, that the bishop is afraid. The name of the movie is Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take our first break, and then we'll be back to discuss best single minute, best line, and the rest of the business in this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful film. And I will be messaging Rhian to chastise her that she did not tell me that she watched Primal Fear.
You should watch Primal Fear. Okay.
One and okay. Best single minute nominations. Murder of the Bishop. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
The smashed glass through the curtain. Very, very well done. I love just a lawyerly briefing. So the briefing with Tommy and Naomi of just like, these are the facts.
Yeah.
He stole the ring and put it in his pocket. No,
found with
just great lawyer shit. Did you underline that book? Did you underline that book?
Yeah.
And then the next, Barleycorn's Bar with Janet and Marty. Just the relationship of our ages, really. Did this movie?
Our time.
Did this movie need them to go for it just once?
No, I don't think so. I think it would have broken any tension, which you kind of need.
I forget, you're the Challengers generation. You prefer tension to actually anything happening.
Fulfillment.
I much prefer.
I mean, terrifying, whatever that was.
Putting Shaughnessy on the stand and getting
very good.
You son of a bitch. And then obviously, maybe going back to Marty and Janet, maybe the best single minute of our generation. Marty and Janet at the bar at the very start. You'll have to put that out. It's a bar, for Christ's sake.
For Christ's sake.
You want to dance? There's no music.
There was no music.
And then
I thought you liked it better this way.
Yeah. So you don't have to look the person in the face. Oh, touchy, you know. And then, one of the all timers. It was a one night stand, Marty. It just lasted 6 months.
Just lasted 6 months. Queen.
It's so very good.
It is actually the script is actually really good.
So I think a lot of that, according to the special features and the commentary, is down to Ann Biderman, who Steve Shagan wrote the first script, and then they brought Ann Biderman in, whose main, I guess, what you know from. Did you ever watch Ray Donovan? I didn't, but she's been a showrunner. Again, like all things in the current era, this would now be a TV series and all that sort of shit. I even think this movie, I don't think it's too long, but I think this movie is maybe too long at 2 hours 12. Can you imagine it as a fucking 8-episode series, which is
Oh my
definitely what it
God.
would be nowadays?
Yeah, but then we'd have like an episode that was set in Kentucky.
We'd have
That'd be like the spin-off episode.
yeah, we'd have a full episode of, with Joey Pinero, helping the town, like you said.
I really like Joe Pinero. Like,
It's great. I love Stephen
I think
Bauer.
that really works.
It does. Oh, no, yeah. Also, like, is he certain? Are we definitely certain that Shaughnessy got somebody to kill Joey?
No, like, we don't know that. I think he did because I think like his reaction in
His
the
hashtag
courts,
Marty
it definitely
is best.
seems like he did. Yeah, because Marty is, he's a man of the people. He's a man of himself.
Just like Joey Pinero, a man of the people. I had my
Man of the
first kiss there.
people.
Got a pregnant too.
pregnant. I really like that moment where he's like, will you take the stand? He's like, yeah, I get to take a stand, I get a suit, and like the other guy's like, yeah.
Again, we go back to what I said earlier. Get brilliant actors in your small role. Stephen Bauer is a great actor. Scarface, the wonderful Body Double. Do you have any other nominations for Best Single Minute?
I mean, mine was the end, but like, I mean, it's not a minute, but just like when he reveals it, like that specific. I really like when Richard Gere's just there, like, what did you say? What?
You said that you black out, that you can't remember.
You remember?
Good for
that
you,
minute, Marty.
Yeah,
I'm going from Thomas Venable, I'm sorry about our neck, to good for you, Marty.
When did Rian realize? Was it
Thomas
Venable
moment.
that
Yeah. I think if you're smart, that's when you figure it out.
Because I think, like, again, as we learn in the sort of the next monologue that Aaron/Roy goes through, of like, I think he means that as a sort of wink, wink, hey.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
I'm letting you in on a secret.
You look so happy there for a minute. I nearly let you go. Speaking of which, we head into Best Line, and I'm going to kick it off with that's Marty. It's funny. If that's what you think, I am disappointed in you. I don't mind telling you, there never was an Aaron counselor. Come on, Marty. I thought you had it figured there at the end. The way you put me on the stand like that, that was brilliant.
Brilliant, Marty.
And that whole act like a man, Jesus, I knew exactly what you wanted to me. Oh, it was brilliant.
Okay, great line. Mine's a silly one.
Go.
My favorite line is Boy Scout with a merit badge and carving.
It's very good. See, again, cast brilliant at cast.
Yeah.
Over what you, because again, not to be rude, but it's a small role. You could have put a nobody in there. No, you put in Andre Braugher, who I guess in that stage of his career was a bit of a nobody, but he has that great stagecraft. Why did they cast Laura Linney, who had at that time no major credits because she was an incredible stage actress? You put in this incredible talent and you make your film better and timeless.
Yeah.
Speaking of Janet, cute porno, part of your collection?
Yeah. Another excellent line.
When he goes to get the tape, I'm Myron Vale from the Public Defender's Office. I'm handling the Aaron Stapler case. Oh, the Butcher Boy. I forgot his real name.
Thank you for using his full name. yeah, that's it, isn't it? I forgot his real name.
Again, Janet, I've got to admit that face is great. Are you prepping him to take the stand?
That's priceless. No, very good.
They have this like legitimate His Girl Friday 1940s farce thing running through. It's brilliant.
It is good.
And again, this is just a punchline joke from 1955. I also need case histories on murder by stabbing, murder by mutilation, murder by religion. Also, I'm going to need a psychiatrist. You're telling me.
Yeah, you're telling me. So good.
This was carved into his chest, allegedly. No, that was real.
That was real, but I appreciate the effort. No, yeah. The allegedlys do, I think, also fall into my.
Again, put humor in there, put sex.
It's so funny
because this could be. This, at the end of the day, is a story about a pedophile being butchered, and it could be very, very bleak shit. Now, obviously I'm a sicko, and it's not actually the laugh out loud comedy of the century, but adding that,
Just saying.
add that levity in there. Add a bit of romance.
I mean, they're like very intelligent people. It wouldn't make sense if they weren't a bit funny.
Well,
And
this
they're
is the thing.
lawyers. They're like
exactly.
quick-tongued.
They're
So they should have been.
complete. Well,
Yeah.
Marty definitely
Yep.
infamous.
But they're tongue.
But like they're all desensitized. It's the same thing like morgue attendants having that great humor.
Yeah.
We move now to what's the change? I've got a few.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Vale take the case pro bono? Is it just for the publicity? Because he's on the cover of a magazine already. He's got enough publicity.
Yeah.
Is that just pure? Is it purely for the publicity? Is that enough for him to take the case?
I think he thinks it'll be like a bit, not like fun, but like a challenge, like a fun challenge.
Yeah, something.
So,
Yeah.
which goes in line, I think, with the publicity thing. Like, I don't think he's taking it seriously. And then obviously,
I have. This is a change I have, not necessarily for this film, but for actual court.
Okay.
I hate when they're like I want you to do this absolutely ridiculous. I want you to let in this absolutely ridiculous thing that who would ever agree with? And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm citing Asa versus Thomas, 1967. It's like, I hate when they cite a previous dickhead judge who clearly let something in.
Yeah.
And that means that they can just get away with it forever.
I mean, yeah. You're taking the legal system to court on that one.
They're all going to hear this episode.
Yeah, they're listening.
The Marty Vale magazine cover where he is just like standing with his arms crossed, as tall as Chicago skyscrapers.
Yeah.
I've already touched on Francis tapping the camera. Hey, do you know what?
Do you know what I can do with this thing?
It's like, what the battery's dead. It's very clear what
do you know what I can do? I can change the battery.
B, what a weird way to phrase that. I know she's trying to get on his side, but like, can you do you know what you can do with this thing?
Yeah, this is kind of neat.
Yeah. Film things.
Yeah, I know what we've been doing for the last few sessions. I don't know.
And then Linda's death completely comes out of nowhere. What does he say? That cunt just got what she deserved.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're supposed
cunt just got what she deserved.
So he hates Linda because he sees her as sluttish, I guess, and he wanted to kill her, or
yeah. I mean, what did they say earlier? Like, I mean, everybody had a piece of her. You know what I'm saying?
Help him, Linda. Help him. But it's like, see, this is the thing. Like, who? Right? Do we touch on this now? I guess we touch on this now. Who is real? Is it Aaron or is it Roy? Was like Roy what Aaron was always like? Because what we come to learn of Roy, I don't think he would be quite sheepish in a threesome sex video. I think he'd be quite, going for it. Yeah. And nobody ever said
like this is an abusive situation.
No, I know. But it's like nobody's ever like, are we supposed to believe that he was a bit more Royish? And anybody who sees him on TV or in court thinks that he's been so traumatized by the murder. Guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he probably puts on a bit of an act when he came to Chicago and like got taken in by the bishop. Like, not full on Aaron. Like, they're probably thinking, why has he got a stutter now? But I don't think he would be like presenting himself in full Royness.
Yeah,
because I think he'd know Royness.
Your Heil Royness.
I think he'd know that he probably wouldn't get taken in by the bishop in that situation. And I don't think the bishop would have like been as fond of Roy. I mean, we don't know, but
we don't. Yeah, he was a great comedian. Bishop Rushford.
He loves a Joker.
Yeah, and then this leads to the biggest question of all. Is like, why did he kill Bishop? I mean, he was being abused. Sure.
I mean, I feel like that's not the biggest question.
No, but it's
not
like
an impossible answer.
No, I know. But
I think he was right to kill him. He was
Yeah.
a bad person. Probably not maybe in that way. I mean, I don't know. Not weighing
then
in
why
on-
doesn't he? Okay, if he wants to get away with it, oh no, because he's never going to get away with it because it's not technically in self-defense; it's motivated. Yeah, but then you'd surely make the try if you want. Well, he says in that final scene, he's like, "Didn't get away with it though, did I?" And it's like, okay, so your plan was to get away with it. Your plan wasn't to like get caught and.
I don't think he can help himself. Like,
Yeah,
he
I
has
guess
to
this
give it
leads
away.
into killing Linda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they ever going to find Linda's body? He did a very good
But
job
also-
at killing Linda and getting away with it, and nobody ever finding Linda's body.
Yeah, no one knew.
So,
Well, but at the end of the film, I don't think Marty would like walk away and be like, "I was wrong, guys. He's actually been pretending."
he
So-
can't because of patient.
Well, yeah,
patient,
obvious. Yeah, lawyer thingy, confidentiality.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he's pressing that one in any other way to. It would ruin his reputation.
It would. Well, again, another great moment. Kind of a lawyer client confidential, and then
Like,
that,
confidentiality thing.
and that lit and that and
He's like,
gear.
uh-huh.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Tell
I
me
know what it is.
exactly how you're going to ruin my life. Any changes, Asa?
Any changes? I agree with the ones you said.
Mm.
I think no,
That's
No.
fine.
other than what you said.
Best specific Halloween costume. I put the bishop in his bathrobe.
No
bloody-
fingers or like
no fingers. Yeah.
bloody stump. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Aaron bloody running away,
Yeah, that
and-
was what I said.
and Janet Venables in a nice suit smoking.
I think though, if I was going to do the running away, I'd have to spend the whole night.
So Edward Norton loses to Cuba Gooding Jr. at the Oscars. Are you a Jerry Maguire person?
No.
No, that's okay. I recently rewatched Jerry Maguire for the upteenth time and cried on a train because I'm at a very low ebb of my life. So I
Nice.
would still give the Oscar, I think, to Cuba. I don't. I think like any other year, this would be like one of the great Oscar travesties. But I think, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with it going.
I mean,
to
I
Cuba.
haven't seen it, so I can't really weigh in. Obviously,
He's
I
very
would give
good.
him the award, but
The
having
meat,
not seen
meat.
the other one,
You'd give him the meat.
I'd give me award. I'd give him my heart. And some
Rian
guidance.
was. I could have heard about Rian's meat thing so many years earlier because she was supposed to do a Dead Poets Society podcast and then fell ill, and so wasn't on it. But obviously,
Oh yeah.
they are two huge meats, Ethan Hawke and Robert Sean Leonard.
I love Dead Poets Society.
Oh, what a wonderful!
And I love them both.
Sweaty tooth man. Neil, my boy Neil.
No,
What a great film.
if I was making a change in that, it would be the slow motion.
Leave Kurtwood Smith alone. No.
Yeah, I'd change that.
A few fun facts. The first cut was 3 hours and 15 minutes. What?
Yeah, I want to see that version.
How?
That's with the Kentucky storyline. Quicksand.
It's got all the the
That's
Virginia
another
stuff.
great moment. You don't see a doctor in quicksand unless your legs broke.
Again, just a great cut. It makes the film better than the book. The minute that you introduce Aaron before the events of this film, you start asking those questions of, well, is he actually Aaron? Is he actually Roy? And that sort of thing. And so, as we've discussed, many people auditioned, including Matt Damon and Ben Affleck separately. And this was when they
Not together. So I'll play Roy, and
You play
he's going to
Aaron.
be Aaron.
Ben would be Aaron. No, sorry, Ben would be Roy.
Yeah, yeah.
Shall we make this a new top and bottom situation? Are you more of an Aaron or a Roy?
You know what? It like back challenges. I'm an Aaron.
I'm an Aaron.
I'm an art
Oh no!
person.
No!
And
I
you're
figured it
a
out.
Roy Patrick Spike.
You're either an no. Aaron slash Roy is a verse, and then you've got we anyway. So they both auditioned separately, and eventually that paired with them both losing out on Dead Poets Society actually led them to start writing.
Difficult year for them.
It was a rough time. Led them to write Good Will Hunting because they were like, no, and we're not going to keep getting
Which
these.
is a good film.
Which is a great film. According to the Blu-ray behind-the-scenes information, the ending exposition was running over 6 pages long, and the writers realised that it would take far too long and lose its punch. Gere and Norton began to improv with it, encouraged by the director and writer, and pared the scene down to less than 2 pages with a much crisper ending. The slow clap, and he's very quick to say this on the interviews, the slow clap was Edward Norton's idea.
Yes, I've heard them say that.
Oh yeah, and then endings were posed with Vale wearing a wire, and and then Vale coming back in and catching him out.
How boring would that have been?
Well, this is I always go for the depressing ending, as I said on the like.
I don't think it's depressing. I think he learns his lesson.
So you think that the hero of this is Aaron slash Roy?
Taking out rapists.
I guess.
One finger at a time.
Well, this is the thing. If we get rid of the Linda killing,
yeah, this is why I would change. That would be my change because you'd already said, but like that
vindicate.
doesn't need to be there. And then it's just like this guy's getting justice.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. Tagline rundown. One of the great taglines of all time. Sooner or later, a man who wears 2 faces will soon forget which one is real. Beautiful, beautiful. When I was on board my cruise job, we had to do these quizzes for themed nights. It was the most bullshit thing. I don't know whether this falls under. I didn't sign any NDAs. This is fine. And I'm going to write a whole book, so that's okay. And one of them was masquerade night, and so we always had to do fucking quizzes about. You try writing 60 questions about masks. You can't. It's so boring. And I managed, and the third mask quiz I wrote included the question.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, a man who wears 2 faces will forget which one is real.
Who wrote that?
Nathaniel Hawthorne. Was the tagline for which 1990s legal thriller. There you go. Tom's big question. We've already talked about this. Did Aaron act like Roy or act like Aaron before the trial? No altar boys reacted. Martin Vale. I speak. You do not speak. Your job is to just sit there and look innocent. Better sleazy lawyer than this or Billy Flynn? Because that is exactly what he says in We Both Reach for the Gun. Shut up, dummy. Are we missing? Should he have been? Was he? No, he wasn't nominated. John C. Reilly was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. 2000. I love Chicago. 2001 Oscars. Oh, I think it was 2002 then. 2002. No, then it was 2003. Yeah, 2003. Okay. Best Supporting Actor. John C. Reilly was nominated for Chicago and lost to Chris Cooper. Could we not get Richard Gere in there for Chicago as Billy Flynn? He's doing the tap dance. All I care about is love. Okay. Tom's big question. Do Janet and Marty go for their drink in bar gods?
I think they do, but maybe like not straight away. I think she goes home, has a bar, little cry.
I think it's the. I think it's like. I think it's. This
Then
goes
and
back.
there.
This goes back to my Patrick and Tashi. You know, like you've got to get with the person who understands you unequivocally.
No, I do think they suit each other. I do.
Yeah.
I think they should go for the drink, whether they will.
Did you know that the book has 2 sequels?
Yes. And one of them is about him killing Linda.
1995's Show of
I
Evil.
can't say I finished it and was like, I've got to read the sequel to this.
I did not. I considered it. Show of Evil. 10 years after saving Aaron Stampler from the death penalty, Martin Vale, now a district attorney, is plagued by his client turned nemesis. Once again, after a series of murder victims turn up with mysterious ties to the serial killer. Okay. See,
Loving use of the word nemesis.
Nemesis. So I thought, quite cynically perhaps, that was William Deal. I didn't look at when the book came out, so I was like 1990.
Oh, you thought it was him writing it 10 years later?
No, I thought it was him responding to the success of the film.
Oh,
But it
okay,
wasn't.
yeah.
This came out before the film. So, and then a third one, Reign in Evil. Martin Vale, now a United States attorney.
Now the president of the United States.
Is assigned to a case in which he must go up against a survivalist militia and unexpectedly encounters, you guessed it, his nemesis.
His nemesis.
Aaron Stampler, seemingly back from the dead and posing. Are you ready for this? I'm going to give you just a million guesses to guess the next 3 words. But seemingly back from the dead and posing as a... Just guess.
Undercover.
Undercover.
Undercover. Maid. Woman.
Undercover maid woman. It's somehow less ridiculous than posing as a blind Baptist preacher. Marty. So there is a third book out there which I must read at some point.
I feel like I do now need to read that.
Where Aaron Stampler becomes Odom Abraham.
Why did they not do the trilogy of films? Can you imagine signing on to do the film being like, and it's got 2 sequels? How can we set it?
Of all things, I live in a world of like, I wish everything's made and I'll just sift through anything. And then I go, no, that's not actually good because like there's so much shit on Netflix anyway. But like, if they did make those 2 movies, even if they did the Hannibal thing where they have to recast one of them, I'd watch all of them.
I'd be there. I think maybe if they'd done it as a TV show, that what sort of filled out the episode.
Oh, I hate TV shows so much. I know that's such a stupid thing to say, but I do think I hate TV shows. Like I remember watching The Sinner with my ex, and each one of those was 8 episodes long, and I was like, this would have been such a good 2-hour movie. Every single one of those series, like the Carrie Coon one, anyway. And I was like, every single one of these would have been a really good 2-hour film. And I think about this now. I mean, we're in the era. Have you seen Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford?
No.
If you like this, you'll love Presumed Innocent. Maybe we do a Presumed Innocent pod. I love Presumed Innocent. It's very, very good. Another 90s based on a book, 2-hour 10 thriller with lots of great actors and Harrison Ford.
I'm sure I would like it.
It's brilliant. It's currently being remade as a Jake Gyllenhaal 10-episode Apple TV thing. And I'm like,
oh,
this isn't going to stretch. I love Jake. I don't think he stole her scarf or whatever.
I don't think he's still got it.
Again, stories from my ex. I was forced to sit and she was, I don't remember what I even said, but she was like, have you watched All Too Well? And I said, I think I watched it when it came out. And she was like, no, we're again in the middle of the ocean. And she used her data to show me all too well, and it kept buffering, and I was sat there watching Sadie Sink and
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I get it. And again, Taylor, that red hair was not a good look. Anyway,
Yeah.
is this your favorite courtroom movie
This is my favorite film.
ever?
Yeah.
Well, this is
And
wonderful news.
it's segueing into my funny story, which I realized I almost didn't tell. So and he won't be listening, so it's fine. My first ever boyfriend when I was like 16.
I love any story that begins with "It's okay, they won't be listening." This is the trap.
And if he is, hi, like
hi,
why are you listening?
Because I've had a lot of talented people on this podcast, and one of us hopefully will become famous, and then somebody will come back
and listen to this. No, you take this down if we get famous.
That's
no,
okay.
so this is my favorite film. It's been my favorite film for like 8 years then, I guess. No, longer than that, like 10 years, but we watched it together. It was already my favorite film when we were like 17. And I'd said this is my favorite film, and he told me his favorite film was one of the Monty Python films. I don't like them.
I don't like Monty Python either. That is me and Will's. I'm talking like me and Will are a married couple. That is me and Will's like biggest divergence of comedy.
Yeah. No, so not for me. Don't find him funny. Like whatever. And so we watched both of these, and we watched mine first, and he was like, "Wow, really good film," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And then we watched his, and I was like, "Didn't really like that," and that wasn't the issue. The issue was he was like, yeah, no, it wasn't actually that good. I like yours now. That's my favorite film. And I was like, well, no, that you need to have an opinion. And so I broke up with him.
Okay. Oh, I wish we didn't have 8 minutes 41 to break this down. Okay, so I'm trying to think if in typical, has Eve ever been on a podcast? No. Anyway, infamously, Eve makes most stories about her. That's okay. We make fun of it, but I'm trying to think of an has that ever happened? The most.
It's quite a niche story, doesn't it?
That is a very niche. No, actually, I got close with the last ex. She loved Silence of the Lambs. I showed her Silence of the Lambs, and then she very much liked it after that point. And then we did a movie night and showed Silence of the Lambs. And when people were doing that typical movie night thing of how is this happening? She was doing, no, actually, it's explained. And she was doing it before I was doing it. And I was like, and then I went to the jewelry store on board.
Oh, I see.
No, she left. But
it's okay. Laura Linney's out there.
Laura, to find my Janet Venable. That should be, maybe that's. See, this is the thing. If we had enough time and production value on our hands, we should do like very niche YouTube sketches of Tom goes into chemists and does the Julianne Moore scene from Magnolia, where Julianne Moore berates a chemist.
Yeah.
Find Tom Janet Venable, where we go on the street and ask statuesque blonde women, "Are you a lawyer? Do you like smoking?" See, maybe
do you own a pantsuit?
Do you own a pantsuit? Maybe this is how we end. What's your opinion on smoking, and is it sexy? Because
this film, yes,
and in real life, I'm sorry to tell you,
and in real life, yeah, no, it is sexy.
So I don't smoke. I don't smoke either,
it is sexy.
And I never have. But infamously, my favorite show is Mad Men, filled with sexy smokers.
Yeah,
and the ex on the ship, and she was an ex anyway, and so she'd quit smoking and lots of other things, and she like treat herself to a pack on this holiday that we went on, because that's you go on a holiday with somebody you can leave in 2 days, but and she was smoking. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that actually smoking is sexy, isn't it? But this is the thing, She treated herself to like one pack across that week. Janet Venable is like smoking every single goddamn scene.
Everywhere she goes.
There is no sequel to this movie because Janet Venable is dead.
So dies.
Yeah. She is chugging liters of
Don't even
coke.
think about lighting that cigarette, Miss Venable.
And then, what a bitch, tapping it out once Aubrey Woodard's left in one of the whiskey glasses.
Oh, sure.
Oh, have you watched You Can Count on Me with Laura Linney?
No.
It's very, very good. Laura Linney, I don't think has had the career I wished. I very nearly watched Laura Linney in a one-woman play, which looked very, very boring, but she was in it. And I was like, oh, do I go watch this? And it was called...
It would have been really good.
I know. No, it got COVIDed. Or did it? Can't remember. I can't... No. Maybe I just wasn't in London. I can't remember. Anyway.
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it, unfortunately. I was in a... I did Time Stands Still. Jasmine Suzanne. Do you see Jasmine Suzanne as a Laura Linney type? Because me and Jazz did a performance from a play, not in the Thomas, not in the fine Thomas Carruthers.
No, I can see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Because we did a scene from a play that was written for Laura Linney, I believe, and Jasmine played Laura played Laura Linney. No, played the Laura Linney type, and. Because it is a very hard skill, that dryness. Because that she has that in You Can Count on Me. Obviously, I genuinely, like, without irony, think that her in Truman Show is one of the best supporting actress performances
she's very good in it.
Of all time. I think she's so very good. Truman. Oh, Truman, we can't go. Oh,
yeah.
Truman, your fear of water. You know you can't cross this bridge. It's absolutely astounding. Why don't we get one of those new roller lawnmowers? She's very, very good, and I think we've done Laura Linney dirty throughout the years. We've kind of touched on everything. Oh, I'm yawning. The wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Primal Fear. A very, 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 very good. So the other two movies we're doing. Are they your number 2 and number 3 favorite films, or are they? No. What are your number 2 and 3?
My second. So I don't think I haven't got like a really clear story, but my second favorite film is How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah. Literally, I'm saying this like I'm saying this like unequivocally. You could have said any other movie that Kate Blanchett is in, and we could have done it. Apart from that, A Lord of the Rings and How to Train Your Dragon.
Do you not like Lord of the Rings? I love Lord of the Rings.
No, I don't like any book that has a map in it.
There's a what in it?
A map in it.
I put in a man. I was like, well, that's not true.
Unless that man is Martin Vale. In Reign of Evil or Show of Evil and Reign. I've already forgotten what they're called.
Blind man beggar.
Blind? I'm not Aaron. I like the idea that through the series of books he gains new personalities.
But like more fake ones that he's made up.
So I think I've told this story before, but like when I was a kid, I wrote like a really terrible murder mystery, and I loved the idea of anagrams. And so it was like, and I was like, oh, he'll be called Harvey. So I came up with this great serial killer name, Harvey Sladen. Good name. Wow, that's the name of the serial killer. That's really good. Okay, well, but he has to have an alternate identity. All right, so I need to make an anagram of those letters. So I decided to do the first name first because obviously, surnames can be a little bit weirder. So I was like, what surname can I make? Sorry, what first name can I make out of Harvey Sladen? Okay. R-A-Y, Ray, which left me Vensladane. So Harvey
Vensladane.
Yeah, no, Ray Vensladane. So the whole
time.
Right,
sorry.
So the whole time, Detective Asa is like, what do you think, Ray? Detective Vensledane. What do you think?
Inspired.
I don't think would have worked on the page.
No.
The wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Primal Fear. From the dirty streets of Chicago and the sexy back room of Alfred Woodard's law office, we move to...
Which one was that?
Pride and Prejudice. That wasn't the tree monsters of Terabithia. We moved to Pride and Prejudice, which is a movie I haven't watched since I don't think I've ever watched it fully.
Well, enjoy.
I will. You've given me an excuse to buy a beautiful new Blu-ray.
Yeah, so it's been an expensive 3-film series for you.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Thank you very, very much, Asa. And I think you might break the curse. I think this might go to all 3 picks.